At the end of Earth 2, Captain Joseph Carter was unable to extract what was left of humanity aboard the Aries Prime, a towering, N-class spaceship equipped with the most impressive technology and artificial intelligence of its time. Marooned in the vast nothingness, plagued by his thoughts of failure, with nothing but his vices, the captain changed course and now seeks signs of surviving human life. These are the stories of a sentient spaceship and a broken man.
Log entry 12. The Great Sleep.
That right there's a human skeleton. Yeah.
How disturbing.
Should I take it in for testing? Perhaps we can trace its...
No. It's for fun.
That's disgusting.
I told you, you're supposed to put gross, scary stuff everywhere. It's not real.
But I still don't understand why.
It's part of our old traditions. On Halloween, we pretend ghosts and ghouls and witches and...
sandwiches?
No. Just normal witches. Spells and whatnot. They come out to scare us. Like haunting and casting spells and whatnot.
This is fun for you.
Yeah. Dude, it's the best.
Aries.
Sorry, I just wanted to be your hype man.
So what do we do?
Well, you gotta make costumes to wear to the party. That's standard protocol, Halloween. Just think of some scary stories to tell by a campfire and, spook each other out.
But we don't know anything about ghosts and or ghouls.
Well, here.
What's in that box?
What's in the box?
It's data chips from my old ship. I'm gonna teach you all about the ghastly ghouls and spooky specters that bump in the night.
I totally bump in the night. Up top.
You wish ones.
Wait, what? Data chips from your old ship?
Yeah, when I worked aboard the Scorpio. Don't get jealous, it was a long time ago.
Lowering sensitivity levels 15%. But I'm still jealous.
Come on, baby girl. You know I only fly Aries now.
Hee hee.
I thought Aries was a boy ship.
I am, but if I was a girl, I would be the belle of the ball. Hee hee.
There we go. Microsoft Encarta 1997. This will have everything you need to learn about spooky things. And once you just insert this into Aries floppy drive, please. Just go ahead.
Where's a floppy drive?
It's right there on your right. No, the other right. Hey, just put both your hands up and make little L's with them. And the one that looks like an L, it's the left hand.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, that's
the computer doing things. Oh, very, very smart.
This does seem interesting. Daisy, would you like me to share the data?
Maybe later. I want to prepare my scary story.
And I got plenty. You good ones?
Yeah. I'll just download this too. Cram up my old hole, that you say. Zip, zip, zip.
Oh, man, buddy. No. Come with me. Team, costumes, decorations, scary stories, that's what you need to do. So, Aries, you can use the circuit system. Just tonight.
Sweet.
But you're still grounded.
Balls.
Daisy, take command of Surgical Bay 3. I left a bunch of stuff in there. You're smart. You know what you're doing. So just use it for your costume.
Got it. Kind of you to give me my own workspace. It's nice being your favorite.
Sure. Everybody, let's meet in Garden 13B in 6 hours. Ready? Break. Okay, Wands. So you're human-ish. So first off, you can't download stuff like robots.
You're not the boss of me. I can do whatever I dream.
Shh. Just listen. You and I have the same type of brains.
Sexy one.
Shut up. We learn from experiences. So let me break this thing down. What scares you?
Everything really. Spiders, dark, roller coasters.
Perfect. But roller coasters are fun, right? You kind of like those, so that's what the Halloween's supposed to be and it's supposed to feel like.
Scary, but you like it?
Exactly. So think about stuff that scares you and make it into a costume and a story, and I'll handle your part of the decorations.
Okie doke. I'm gonna be a roller coaster. Just kidding. I'm gonna scare the shit out of you. See you in a little bit. Good luck, Captain.
This looks like a real haunted house. Nice job, Captain.
Or a really crappy house. Oh, ladies. You should clean up these cobwebs, Cotton Card. What if I bring my own ladies home?
You're not gonna bring anyone home. And that's the point. Where's your costume?
I'm wearing it. Look. I'm a manager, see?
Oh.
But that's not scary.
Whoa. Daisy. You look gnarly.
I'm dead once.
But why?
Because this is what I'm going to do to you.
Pull my eyeball out? Don't do this, rude.
Yes. And then light you on fire and laugh.
And I'm gonna throw these spiders at you. Yeah!
Oh God, not on my birthday.
It's not your birthday. Also, you're going to hell.
Oh no, I've been living good.
Also, more spiders. Yeah!
No.
They aren't real wands. Chill out.
Oh, they are? Okay then.
Hi, guys. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, Mr. Jack-o'-lantern. I love it.
And I love your much chubbier and shorter and uglier David Bowie suit.
I think you mean chubber and shorter and uglier Goblin King suit.
Are you going to sing dance magic for us?
Yes, Captain. Dance magic, Captain.
No. No. You know I don't sing anymore.
Can I?
No. Actually, yes. On Christmas in 2 months. That's your Christmas gift from me. You're welcome. Well, guys, grab a seat. It's time for some top-notch premium spooks. Get ready for the tale of the Crumulord Farmer. Reginald was a very enabled young man, born into a life of riches and luxuries that folks like us can barely dream about.
I bet I could dream about them if I tried.
And that's the kind of proud, interruptive behavior that got him into this mess.
Oh God, no.
He was obsessed with a life of luxury. Buying, selling, acquiring the biggest and best of all worlds. He had a giant 4-story mansion built, fully staffed by hundreds of servants, and at night he would house them. Until He kicked them out to return to the slums while he enjoyed the night's breeze atop the 4th floor from the only unlocked window in the house. Sure, the rest gave a lovely view of the woods, and the servants often enjoyed the sporadic visits from the deer and the wildlife, but to them it was a mere cage. Growing weary of this place again, he decided to leave and acquire more riches and items for his museum-esque living quarters. So, he promptly fired his poor staff, locked the main door, and hired a pilot to take him on his next trip. He was on another one of his vacations, and this time making a stop in the farmlands of Brazil to pick up some artifacts for his art gallery back home. And the thing about the shop that he was searching for is you'd have to travel on foot to find this hidden plateau and answer 3 riddles of its guardian to obtain directions. Only the pure of heart and the mighty of wit could dare solve the guardian's riddles. But old Reggie, as privileged as he was, sent out 3 servants to find the plateau, answer the questions, and bring back the directions, so he wouldn't have to. They were warned that they must go directly to the mysterious shop. Anywhere else would bring back a great curse. One servant took his map to the store, one returned to Reginald, and one vanished on his trek back home. The first servant to return gave him the map. The second returned with a great knowledge of the shop and the old farmer who owned it. He had to relinquish his map upon leaving the door. Reginald took the first servant's map and asked the second to escort him there.
Like a date?
Ugh. Yes, Wands, it was a date.
How romantic.
Not a date, dummies. He was a protector, a guard.
Oh, like my brother. That was his job for King Captorian.
Can I get back to my story, guys, please? So they headed out to the farmlands of Brazil. He stops into this authentic shop known for its enchanted goods. And as soon as they stepped into the Brazilian forest, Servant 1 started to feel weak. He told the master of the curse, and Reginald demanded he continue. The servant took 2 more steps before falling to the floor and screaming in agonizing pain. He fainted right there in the dirt. But Reggie was far too stubborn to let this stop him. He snatched the map and continued on by himself. It seemed like there were moments before Reg seemed to stumble upon an opening amongst the trees. There was a humongous field and what looked like thin black buds sprouting from the earth. In the middle of all that was a shack, in reasonably good condition, but it's humble, and that was the only place around, so Reggie walked to it. He knocked on the screen door, and no one answered. He began to open the door, and it slammed shut. In that moment, he found that he was turned around, staring at an old man. "I am the Crumbulord farmer. What business do you have here?" "I've come to purchase some of your rarest goods," said Reggie. "You were not invited here." "Let's not worry about that. I have, how you say, a large incentive." "I won't sell to you." "I'll forgive you this once. You must not know who I am." "I don't care who you are. I will not sell to you." Reginald grabbed the man by his shirt and said threatening, "I think you should reconsider." Right. I have one item for you. It is small, but it will surround you with great, uncontrollable power." He reached into his shirt and pulled out a necklace. On the end, a thumb-sized black crystal. "Tell me, son, are you a good man, pure of heart?" "This shall not touch the hands of someone unworthy." "Of course I am. Hand it over." "I shall place it in a box for you. Do not touch, or a great curse will fall upon you." "How much, old man?" "No money. Instead, a proposition. It's yours. Just take it. Just leave my lands and never return. However, if I ever see you here again, your soul will belong to me." "Yeah, sure. Sounds good, you old kook. One more thing. How do I get back to the main roads?" The old man smiled and turned to Reginald, 45 degrees, revealing a clean, single straight line in which no trees grew. Through there you'll find the path you'll desire. So sure enough, Reginald goes through the fields into the path. Then he unboxed the necklace and put it on. In the moment the metal glanced his neck, there was a low rumble behind him, as if they were behind thick walls or under earth. He turned to investigate the rumble's source and found farmlands ripened before his eyes. Only there was something amiss. The black sprouts began seemingly to climb from their bunkers, and within moments they breached the surface entirely. The sprouts were small, ornaments upon the heads of 3-foot-tall creatures reminiscent of misshapen toddlers, with their roots protruding from various areas on their bodies. Within moments, they began their slow, Loris-like movements in Reginald's direction.
The fracking
The farmer was barely in earshot, but Reginald would not forget the distant sound he made. A distant cackle. As they approached closer and closer, Reginald realized what he had done. After a brief panic, he smirked and proudly continued on his way, barely breaking a jog. He was confident that he could outpace these children. And he was right. There was plenty of daylight, and when he had traveled for what seemed to be 2 hours, he decided to take a small nap. Surely the children wouldn't know where to find him. So he found a tall tree, climbed up, rested on a branch for about 20 minutes, and when he awoke, he saw rustling in the distance. The children were close. He jumped down and began sprinting through the trees until finding himself at the main road. He had made it. He followed the road until he found a familiar open area, and of course, the plane. He climbed aboard and yelled for the pilot to go and to leave the others behind. When the pilot refused, Reginald placed a firm, threatening palm on the pilot's shoulder and promised him all the riches he could dream, or nightmares, for his children's children. The pilot reluctantly obliged and started the propellers. As they were taking off, Reggie pointed out the creatures in the distance, and the pilot nodded without entertaining the claims with so much as a blink. It had been 4 years from that day. Reginald was back at his old ways, scratching, conniving, praying, and demanding everything from everyone, and laughing all the way. He managed to buy and sell and collect and sell every rare treasure he could get his hands on. But the necklace, no matter what, he preferred to keep it in a glass case in his bedroom. It had been long enough since he had shaken the memories from the periphery of his mind of the creatures, dismissing them as strange and funny as an experience, but ultimately compartmentalized them in a folder he labeled Bad Dreams. After years of success, he decided it was time to enjoy the spoils of his labors at his own home. He had done so in quite some time, and he decided what better way to announce his plan to stay than to hold a party for his elite friends from all places, various traders, socialites, and the likes. He would have much to plan, and a new staff to hire for his permanent conference. But first, a night's rest in his own bed, wearing the necklace he favored so much. As he began to slink into sleepiness, he heard a faint scratching coming from the trees outside his bedroom window. He ignored it, and it continued. It got louder and more frequent. So he finally got out of bed and walked downstairs to find several holes scratched into the sides of his walls. He turned on the lights, only to see stumped, root-like figures, black as night, digging into his mansion. The Crumulords had found him. He ran upstairs to escape once more, only to realize his mansion had only one window unlocked. It was the only one left. And down below, a sea of small root children. No matter, he could still outrun them. So he jumped 4 stories, landing and breaking his right leg. There would be no running. The children came to return him and the necklace to their rightful place in the mysterious farmlands of Brazil. The old man retrieved his necklace and fulfilled his promise. If Reginald returned, he would owe him his soul, and he did. And he was promptly buried under the fields to await his own small black sprout.
I don't know if I like it when you tell stories.
Yes, they are boring.
I don't know. I thought it was kind of scary. Little kids are made out of roots. You can plant them and grow them. Gotta catch them. Gotta catch them all. That's what I say.
All right, well, maybe you guys can do better.
Yeah, okay. I call this one accidentally stealing from the manager. When I go to the store, and then sometimes I don't find what I'm looking for, so I get kind of scared, because, I gotta walk out. Because when they stop me, they're gonna think that I'm stealing candies. So I panic and I tell myself, play it cool, so the manager knows I'm not trying to steal nothing. And then I start sweating. And when the old man says, thanks, have a nice day, I tell him, hey, fuck you, buddy. And I tip over the carts and I run, because they're never gonna catch me alive. But then, 2 cops jump out and tackle me. No, no, no! When I'm punching their buns and bind their noses until I get arrested. And then my court date comes and the judge, who is probably King Kevin, so he comes to me and says, I fought so good, but I fought so good that one of the crooked cops' heads fell off. And I get life in prison. And they take my son away from me. And I'm yelling, oh, where's my son? Where's my son? Locked away. What a waste. 22 goddamn years for some candy. I didn't even steal it. And one day he visits me when he's older. And my hair is graying and I'm just so tired, Mr. Carter. I'm so tired. And he says to me he's a lawyer now. And that he has his own son. And he's proud of his little guy. And I'm proud of my little guy. And I'm just so sorry that I wasn't there to see it. And then he looks at me and says, it's too late for that now. I did a bad thing, even though he was a lawyer, I'd rather rot in prison forever.
This story also sucks. It makes very little sense. I don't like it. How about you, Daisy? Do you have a story for us?
Yes. I call this story The Great Sleep. Water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide created a blanket that would lead to the melting of Schmartic ice. Carbon dioxide methane levels continue to rise and cause an endless, compounding loop of concentrated greenhouse gases. As a result, hurricanes pummel the South Atlantic Sea. Civilization begins to unfold. Severe droughts create new deserts. Most land becomes hyper-arid and can no longer be developed for crops. In this rising world, humans are forced to migrate north to the new forests that begin to replace the once frozen northern and southern continents. They leave the elderly behind. Pets are released to fend for themselves. As the oceans rise, marine life becomes a wasteland. At this time, the winds arrived.
Daisy, I think I know where you're going with this. Stop.
The Second Earth Hero Administration initiates Code Rapture, signaling the presence of unidentified foreign crafts. USOs begin to surface, and a fleet arrives seemingly from the Bootes Void.
Daisy.
They begin a process of terraforming, spraying a web-like substance over large masses of desert. Large-scale independent survivalist groups begin capitalizing on the lack of government. Looting and stockpiling of food becomes the norm. Smaller groups become weak, scavenging for survival in rural communities. Marauders set up camp at any remaining salt-free water source. With nowhere else to turn, some begin to tunnel to escape the sun, unaware of the invading winds. The remaining husk of civilization begins boiling under the bombarding heat waves. Median ages drop significantly. Newborns cannot withstand the living conditions. The Second Earth Hero Administration is alarmed to the erratic patterns of the Wind Fleet. They reposition to enact pincer ambush tactics on the remaining military facilities and begin a slow travel into remaining inhabited towns. The N-class ships of the SE Hero Admin initiated Code Burgundy and began deploying to evacuation locations. 2 sleepover agents aboard the Aries Prime took their ship and defected from the Global Arc strategy. Despite calls and pleas from neighboring N-class partners and the lives they were responsible for, they changed course and landed in the northern hills of Shmimi Valley in southern Schmelifornia. The reason for this has not been documented. The agents have been regarded as deserters, responsible for the deaths of thousands of civilians. It is speculated that they returned to ensure the safety of their previous families, as one of the members, Captain Thornton, had a wife and daughter, and the other, Chief Officer Carter, had an ex-fiancée he had left several years prior to join the Hero Admin. Live scans were involuntarily transmitted to reveal that only 2 human lives returned to the position outside the atmosphere, which means they returned too late, without any additional lives. The families of the Aries Prime crew were likely enslaved by marauding groups, sought refuge underground, starved, or were casualties of the first wave of the invasion. In the wake of this event, the winds would eventually invade remaining human camps and take control of Earth 2. Current scans of Earth 2 read 0 remaining human lives. Aries Prime is likely blacklisted from the Hero Administration post-Second Earth, and Earth 2 has entered the Great Sleep.
Wow, that's crazy. Hey, check out that captain. Hey, buddy, you right, buddy?
Daisy.
Shit, Daisy. I think you won the game.
Cheers.
I'm detecting erratic movements, rapid heartbeats, and an increase in cortisol and norepinephrine. I think he's scared.
I don't get it. There weren't even any spiders at all. Why was that so scary?
Because it was all true.